Now we can get down to some real good spraying. We're going to do some pre-shading. Now pre-shading is a way of taking your flat base color that we're going to use to spray our model, and it puts something underneath. It puts a nice black bit of pre-shading underneath that brings that black pre-shading out just enough to kind of give our plain base color that bit of sort of a sprayed on bit of weathering. I'll show you what I mean as we go along. But what we want to do, just got our airbrush here. I will go, I say it time and time again, get your biting point, right? Press down to get air, right? You slowly pull back, and it's that point at which you get that paint come out. That's your biting point, just like a clutch on a car. And what we want to do is hold that. So get our biting point and then hold it, and we can then move with lines with our airbrush, as you can see. Right, but you just want to hold that biting point. We don't want to sort of pull too far back and get loads of paint coming out, right? Because I'll just show you on the model now. Right, so we get our model, getting our biting point, and then I'm just moving along, making lines. I'm following those recessed panel lines. Right, as you can see now, I'm constantly moving. Right, I want to be constantly moving, because if I don't, right, if I stay in one place, what's going to happen is the paint's going to build up, and it's going to build up, and we're slowly going to sort of see like cobweb effects. Or if maybe we come along and maybe we sort of pull the trigger back too far, we go past our biting point. Right, this is what's going to happen. We're going to sort of end up doing the same sort of thing, and we get like a bit of a spidering effect, like so, yeah, or a big blob, as you can see. We don't want that. We want to get that biting point so the paint's just coming out, right? And the whole idea is just keep on moving, right? Keep moving, keep following those recessed panel lines, like so. Now, my mixture is just a standard mixture of 50-50 paint to thinners, which, by the way, I was using. I am using the Aquarius paint range by Mr. Hobbier. This is number H12, the flat, not H2, I do believe, which is their gloss, going with the matte and mixing it 50-50 with some hobby colour thinners, right? When I personally, I mean, you can go about this sort of any way you want, but when I come to things like, say, these little panels that we have here, I will sort of try and fill in, say, the big ones, like so. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not even stopping my biting point. As you can see, I've got a line from one panel to the other. I do that because when it comes to pre-shading, you don't have to worry about being too neat, too uniform. You want it to be, as you can see, a little bit sort of messy, right? You can tidy these things up when you put your base color down. When I come to like the really small panels, like these ones here, I'll just try and sort of just completely sort of spray them in. There's no point trying to be really smart and really trying to, fill in these really tiny little panels. Right, I mean, the bit of the bigger ones, yes, we can sort of try and sort of fill them in, like so. The big, smaller ones, totally fill them in. We do have actually some, shall we say, recessed rivet lines, right? We can, if we want, spray them in as well. Maybe try and do them a bit lighter, maybe sort of maybe not have the paint coming out so much, maybe a bit lighter if you can, right? But yeah, it's just a case of following all these recessed panel lines. You can as well, if you wanted to, do a little bit of mottling, right? So we could go off and sort of mottle inside, do some very quick squiggles. As you can see, this is very quick, right? All sorts of shapes and figure of eights and squiggles that you can do, and that can just add a nice quick bit of mottling. Again, because it's pre-shading, the colour that we're going to put on top is going to feather everything in, neat everything in, right? We're just having this little hue with the black just come through to add a bit of weathering. We could do some streaks as well, where we sort of flick some streaks like so, right? And what this does is give you some sort of a nice bit of direction of flow. And that, admittedly, that takes a little bit of practice. It is kind of like flicking your biting point on and off. So as you go onto the model, you're sort of flicking your, you've got the trigger down, and then you're sort of like flicking back on the trigger. So you're just getting that biting point coming on, and then you're flicking like so, and you kind of get those nice sort of streaks. Again, kitchen paper towel, you know, practice your biting point, practice your flicking, practice your lines, right, and then go on to your model. But I will actually leave these nasty mistakes just here. I will leave these big blobs that I've done on there just to show you you don't have to worry about making mistakes. Just keep moving on, go for it, and we can tidy everything up when we put on our main colours. So that is basically pre-shading.